Chosen one, take a moment to clear your mind and truly absorb what you are about to hear. There is an electric charge in the air tonight, an undercurrent of destiny that has been quietly building, waiting for this precise moment. If you have felt that subtle inner stirring, an expectancy that something monumental is about to happen, trust that it's not a figment of your imagination. It's the resonance of a cosmic plan converging on this very evening. Yes, it will happen tonight, and the message is clear. You passed. You've crossed an invisible threshold in your life, even if you haven't realized it yet. The test is over. The struggle is shifting, and you are about to see proof that all your perseverance was not in vain. Take a second now to do 3 simple but profound actions. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment 777. Doing so is more than just an online ritual. It's your way of shouting into the spiritual realms that you're ready, that you acknowledge the shift taking place in your life, and that you embrace whatever revelation or breakthrough tonight holds. Each click, each keystroke is a symbolic declaration. I believe in the unseen forces guiding my destiny, and I accept the call that is being placed on my life right now. You might wonder why tonight is so important. Why not tomorrow, next week, or some indefinite point in the future? The truth is that destiny is rarely random. Certain moments carry a weight of significance that surpasses all logic. Perhaps you've glimpsed patterns in your recent life, synchronicities that feel too pointed to be mere coincidence, dreams charged with messages, or repeated numbers that snag your attention. These are signals, signposts that the grand tapestry of your life is weaving together threads you never knew were connected. Deep in your spirit, you sense the hush, the kind of hush that envelops a stage just before the curtains rise on the grand performance. This hush says, brace yourself, something is about to change forever. That hush finds its culmination in the darkness of tonight, a threshold between who you were and who you are meant to become. If you feel that gentle quake in your heart, it's because your soul recognizes that you've passed an important test. Often these tests are not spelled out in black and white. They're woven into your daily struggles. Heartbreak you survived, obstacles you refused to let break you, sacrifices you made in secret. Perhaps your faith was stretched to its thinnest thread, or you found yourself clinging to hope when every rational voice told you to give up, but you didn't. In your own quiet way, you triumphed. That triumph might not have looked like fireworks or public accolades. It was an inner victory, forged in moments of tears, in nights of restless reflection, in uncelebrated acts of courage. And now, tonight, the divine is nodding in your direction, whispering, you passed. Now watch what happens next. Yet you may question whether you truly passed. Imposter syndrome might creep in, telling you that you haven't done enough, that you still have so many flaws, that your faith wavered too many times. Let me assure you, the measure of passing isn't about flawless performance. It's about perseverance in adversity. It's about maintaining the spark of belief, even when the world felt cold and dark. It's about doing the right thing when no one else is looking, or when cynicism would be the easier route. The simple fact that you're still standing, heart open to possibility, is proof enough that you've passed. The cracks you see in yourself are not disqualifications. They're reminders of your humanity and your capacity to heal. So why is tonight the apex of this transformation? Because breakthroughs often come in the hush of the night, when distractions quiet down and your spirit is most receptive. There is something about the stillness, the hush, that envelops the hours before dawn, that allows you to hear the divine voice more clearly. Maybe it's in a dream or a late-night epiphany. Maybe you'll find yourself journaling and the words just flow, unlocking revelations you never saw coming. Or perhaps you'll take a walk under the stars, breathe in the silent air, and sense that intangible shift as fear loosens its hold on your future. Expect something tonight, something intangible, but oh so real. Open your heart. Look into the corners of your soul that you've been reluctant to face. Let your regrets surface if they must, but do not yield to their condemnation. Let them be stepping stones that show how far you've come. Offer them up as evidence that you are not the same person you were 6 months or a year ago. Remember how easily you might have given up in the past, how hopelessness once gnawed at your consciousness. Compare that to how resilient you feel now, even if you haven't recognized it until this moment. That difference is the hallmark of transformation. You are stronger, wiser, more compassionate. You've passed the exam of perseverance and authenticity. And the best part is that this transformation isn't just for you. When you pass a test on a spiritual level, the effect radiates outward to those in your sphere, your friends, your family, even strangers who catch a glimpse of your renewed spirit. This moment can be a catalyst. Imagine yourself tomorrow with the memory of this night glowing in your chest, speaking words of encouragement to someone who is on the verge of giving up, or stepping into an opportunity you previously thought was out of your league, your posture confident because you know you've already proven your mettle in the darkest nights of your journey. That is the ripple effect of tonight's shift. It doesn't just elevate you, it elevates everyone around you. Yes, you might face doubts in the morning. Reality still has bills to pay, tasks to handle, relationships to manage. But the external circumstances do not negate the internal pivot happening now. The tests of life won't vanish just because you passed one. New challenges will arise. But they won't shake you in the same way. You've shed old layers of fear, unworthiness, or self-deception. You've stepped into a fresher identity, one that acknowledges your scars but also recognizes their role as markers of growth. So when the sun rises, hold your head high, mindful that you are not the same person who went to bed. Something subtle but monumental has changed. Do not rush to see immediate, dramatic outward signs. Spiritual transformations often manifest in small ways at first. An unexpected burst of gratitude, a sense of ease in a conversation that used to intimidate you, or even a calm acceptance of circumstances you previously fought against. Watch for these small confirmations. Each one is a gentle pat on the back from the universe, a whispered voice that says, "Yes, this is real. Yes, you have passed. Yes, your future is opening up in ways you can't fully comprehend yet." Part of you might wonder if you've done enough. You might revisit your mistakes or linger on the times you nearly collapsed under the weight of adversity. Understand this crucial truth. Tests are not about perfection. They're about who you choose to be when perfection is impossible. Did you cling to hope? Did you refuse to become bitter or cruel despite your pain? Did you manage, even in small ways, to keep love alive in your heart? If so, then yes, you passed. The divine hand that orchestrates these moments never demanded that you be flawless. It only asked that you persevere with sincerity and integrity. Now consider what's next. If you truly believe it will happen tonight, you must also ask, what will I do with this new revelation come morning? Transformation is not a one-need event. It's a gateway to a continuous unfolding. Will you let cynicism creep back in a few days from now, relegating tonight to a fleeting emotional high? Or will you anchor yourself in the clarity you've received, forging new habits, new mindsets, new boundaries that reflect the person you've become? This is your chance to set a new tone for your life. If you've lacked discipline, let the momentum of passing this test energize you to implement structure. If you've struggled with negative self-talk, commit to a new narrative that honors your growth. People around you might be skeptical, especially if they haven't felt the shift themselves. They may treat your newfound confidence or peace as a phase, You might sense the pull to revert to old patterns to maintain harmony with them. Resist that pull. Elevation often means leaving behind what no longer fits your emerging identity. This can be uncomfortable, but the cost of shrinking back into who you used to be is far greater. When you pass a major spiritual test, you can't unlearn the wisdom you gained. Trying to force yourself back into an old mold will only breed frustration and a lingering sense of inauthenticity. If you worry about loneliness or the loss of certain relationships, recall that new connections and opportunities open up when you stand firmly in your truth. The sense of authenticity and calm you emit becomes a beacon, attracting people whose values resonate with your own. The emptiness left by those who can't support your growth is soon filled by those who celebrate it, so let the tears flow if they must, but do not be held hostage by the fear of change. Like a tree shedding leaves in autumn, you are making room for fresh growth that will bloom with greater splendor than before. Also, don't forget the communal aspect of transformation. Sometimes we think spiritual or personal breakthroughs are just about us, but they rarely are. If you've passed this test, it could be because you're called to help others pass theirs. Keep your eyes open for those who remind you of the struggles you once faced. Offer them the empathy and wisdom you've earned. This doesn't mean forcing your story onto them or acting superior. It means being available, compassionate, and real. That is how your breakthrough reverberates, turning a single life change into a ripple that reaches countless souls. Take a moment now to breathe in the significance of tonight's encounter. You might want to step outside, look at the moon or the stars, and silently reaffirm your readiness for whatever revelation or sign the universe plans to impart. Sometimes, a quiet moment under the night sky can fill you with a sense of awe that no daylight experience can replicate. If you prefer staying indoors, light a candle or turn off all but one soft lamp. Let the dimness of your room mirror the spiritual hush that invites you to look inward. In that hush, ask yourself, what have I truly learned from my trials? Who have I become? How will I use this new understanding? It might help to journal your thoughts or record a voice memo on your phone. Document this moment so that weeks or months from now, when daily life threatens to blur this clarity, you can revisit your own words and remember how real it was. Do not let the feelings slip away into the busyness of tomorrow's tasks. Real transformations deserve memorials, however small. Those memorials anchor your faith, reminding you that you overcame something, that you stood at the brink of despair and refused to yield. They reaffirm that you have an identity shaped by resilience, not by defeat. As the night deepens, you may sense a swirl of emotions, part exhilaration, part gratitude, maybe even part grief for the parts of you that must fade away, so a better version can emerge. Let them all coexist. Growth is rarely neat or linear. It's a process of shedding layers that no longer serve you, while simultaneously leaning into an unknown future that beckons with promise. If tears come, let them. Tears can be the water that nourishes new seeds of possibility. If laughter bubbles up, welcome it as a sign that the shackles of anxiety are loosening their grip. Whichever emotion surfaces, treat it as a messenger carrying a piece of your evolving story. This revelation, that you passed, that tonight is the crucible of transformation, may also challenge your sense of timeline. You might have expected breakthroughs at a different pace or in a different manner. Accept that the divine often operates outside the boundaries we set. The test might have lasted longer than you ever wanted, but the payoff is proportionately profound. Realize also that not everyone around you will share your epiphany. They may proceed as though nothing significant has shifted, because in their world it hasn't, but in your world, everything feels different. Do not let the dissonance dissuade you. Trust your internal calibration, the one that says, something extraordinary just happened, even if it's intangible at first glance. Another important note: passing a major test often opens a gate to new realms of responsibility. Think of it like graduating from one level of education to a higher one. You're no longer dealing with elementary lessons, more advanced challenges and opportunities lie ahead. But do not let that intimidate you. The same grace and resilience that got you this far will accompany you as you ascend. In fact, you'll likely find that your confidence in facing future battles has grown exponentially now that you know what you're capable of. This night is a pivot point, yes, but it's also a launch pad. You might wonder what you should do with the rest of your evening. After you close this message, consider giving yourself a space of at least 10 or 15 minutes to just reflect, meditate, or pray. Let the significance of "it will happen tonight" you passed marinate in your soul. You might feel led to create something, a piece of writing, a sketch, or even a quick dance to express the surge of gratitude. Expression, whether verbal or nonverbal, often cements the intangible into a lived reality. Or maybe you feel drawn to a quiet conversation with someone you trust, someone who can hold space for your introspection without judgment. Remember also that you're not alone in these revelations. Others across the globe are having their own pivotal nights, their own spiritual epiphanies. That is the beauty of a universe orchestrated by a wise creator, connecting hearts that might never meet in person but still resonate with the same cosmic rhythm. By liking, subscribing, and commenting 777, you join a tapestry of souls who say, "Yes, I acknowledge the mystery of this night, and I choose to embrace it." You become part of a collective wave of faith that surges across digital boundaries, uniting hearts in pursuit of higher truth. In the days to come, expect subtle shifts in your reality. You might notice that conversations flow differently, that obstacles you once banged your head against begin to yield solutions, or that a sense of direction clarifies for issues that were previously foggy. Pay attention to these shifts. They are the outward manifestation of the inward change you've embraced tonight. If you find yourself doubting the significance of the transformation, recenter, recall how you felt in the stillness of this moment. Doubt is normal, but you can challenge it with the memory of your breakthrough. Remind yourself that you're not fabricating meaning out of thin air. The synergy of events, the stirring in your spirit, and the confirmation that you've passed are all too precise to be random. We speak of passing as though it's an exam you studied for. In a way, it is. Except your study hours were those nights you spent quietly enduring, those prayers or affirmations you muttered into the darkness, that unwavering moral stance you took when compromise would have been easier. All of it has been leading you to this defining line. The final result? You're stepping into a new chapter, carrying the wisdom, the empathy, and the inner fortitude that only true tests can impart. This is your certificate, printed not on paper but in the growth etched into your soul. To maintain momentum, keep a posture of humility. Passing a test does not mean we become arrogant or complacent. It means we are grateful for the grace that brought us through, mindful that we still have much to learn. The next steps may involve refining your gifts or exploring new passions that you previously sidelined. Perhaps you'll finally write that book, record that song, start that business, or volunteer for that cause. The walls that once boxed you in have lost their power, because you've seen that your real limitations are far fewer than you once believed. You might also find yourself compelled to share the essence of your transformation with those who need hope. Do it. The world is starved for genuine stories of victory, for narratives that reveal how ordinary people overcame extraordinary circumstances through faith, perseverance, or a simple refusal to quit. Your journey can be the spark that ignites someone else's belief in themselves, or in a benevolent higher power, or simply in the raw possibility that life can change course even when it seems stuck. And if you stumble again, and you might, that's okay. You don't lose your progress just because you face a new challenge or yield to an old habit momentarily. The foundation has shifted irreversibly. The next time you face a storm, you can anchor yourself in the knowledge that you've already weathered some of life's harshest trials and emerged with your spirit intact. That anchor is the gift of having passed. It's the quiet confidence that says, I know storms come, but I also know they pass, and I pass with them. Let all of this settle into your bones. Let it create a softness in your eyes, a kindness in your words, an unshakable resolve in your actions. If people comment on the glow in your countenance or the positivity that radiates from your presence, smile and let them know you're stepping into a fresh chapter. You don't have to overshare details they wouldn't understand. Just let your life be the sermon. Let your heart be the living proof that transformation is possible. Because it will happen tonight, and you have already passed. The rest is about unfolding that reality into the tapestry of your daily living. So, as we draw this message to a close, take one last reflective breath. Check your heart. Sense the quiet joy or the solemn relief that might be forming there. Let yourself feel gratitude for the tests that shaped you, for the grace that sustained you, for the love that held you even when you felt unlovable. Then release any lingering tension. You don't need to hold on to burdens from the past. You're entering a new moment, a fresh season, empowered by the fact that you overcame. You are free now to dream bigger, to love deeper, to believe more fiercely in the path ahead. Chosen one, remember to finalize your commitment by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and commenting 777 below. These simple gestures serve as your outward seal of an inward reality that it will happen tonight. You passed. Let them also connect you to others who share this sacred moment, forging a silent camaraderie among souls who refuse to live an unexamined or defeated life. Step into this new dawn with a smile that says you know a secret the world can't take away, that beyond every trial lies a triumph, and tonight marks the turning point for you. Go forth then and live boldly. Let no shadow from your past dim the brilliance of your present victory. Let no fear of the future rob you of the joy that is dawning right now. You have passed, and that pass carries you into unimaginable possibilities. Embrace them fully, confident in the unstoppable fusion of your resilience and the divine momentum that's been guiding you from behind the scenes. Tonight is your moment. Seize it wholeheartedly, and watch how it transforms the